first generation computers. First generation computers duration is 1942 to 1955. Okay, so this is the exact year. Some people are writing 1940 to 1956, that is also valid, but this is the one of the measurement taken by the most of the books. Okay, so in these first generations of computers, the technology is vacuum tubes. Vacuum tubes are act as a processors. So that means people doing calculations like arithmetic calculations, like binary to decimal calculations and logical calculations done with the help of vacuum tubes. Okay, basically the size of vacuum tube is big. For one computer we are arranging thousands of vacuum tubes. Okay, so that is the reason the size of vacuum tube is very big. It occupies complete room. Okay, so the memory of vacuum tube is, so the memory means primary memory. So during that time the memory is magnetic tape. With the help of magnetic tape the primary data is going to be stored. Okay, it is going to be generates lot of heat. Okay, lot of heat, because each vacuum tube produce lot of heat. Okay, the speed of vacuum tube in the form of milliseconds. Milliseconds in the sense 1/1000 per second. Okay, vacuum tubes initially, well, in this first generation programming language is binary level programming language used to write or to define programs. So this one we can also call as machine level language. Okay, so that means we are writing programs with the help of zeros and ones. Okay, it consumes lot of power and it is very cost and generates lot of heat. Okay, so these are the major problems of first generations of computers, and it is slowly taking the input and slowly produce the result. Okay, the applications of first generation computers are basically this first generation computers used in World War II. Okay, but after some time it is used in payroll systems. Okay, payroll processing system for the salaries, prepare documents and all, and maintaining the records. This is the basic purpose. Some example computers are ENIAC, first electronic computer, electronic numeric integrated and computer, and other one is UNIVAC. Universal Automated Computer, and Mark 1, IBM 650, all are examples of first generation computers. Okay. Second generation computers. The duration of second generation computers are from 1956 to 1964. Okay. In this second generation technology, transistors used as technology or processor, means to do any calculations in a computer, transistors are must, and one transistor equal to 1000 vacuum tubes. Because of this equation, the size is reduced, cost is reduced, heat is reduced. Okay, the speed is milliseconds converted into microseconds, that means 1 by 10 power 6 per second. Okay, so in this generation, these transistors developed in AT&T TC Bell Labs. Okay, good input means high input processing and high output processing comparing with the first generation. So the storage capacity is also increased. Okay, storage capacity is also increased. In this second generation, the storage capacity is magnetic core, that is nothing but primary devices, primary memory storages, there are no secondary storages. Okay, so the speed is increased, reliability is increased, cost decreased, performance is increased. Okay, and the programming languages or some assembly level languages are used, like microprocessor languages, and some other high level languages also used, like COBOL and Photon, formula translation, common oriented business oriented language. Okay, the applications of second generations are billing, payroll system, and whatever files we can store, those files we can update. Okay, so this is the advanced mechanism. The examples are like IBM 1401 and IBM 7090 PDP-8. So these are the computers. Okay, third generations of computers. In the third generation computers, it is from 1965 to 1974. In this generation, mainly ICs. It stands for integrated circuits, used as processors, or we can also call it as technology. That means one IC equal to 10,000 transistors. Assume that the size is reduced completely, speed is increased, heat is reduced, cost is also reduced. Okay, so these are all factors because of ICs. This IC developed in AT&T's Bell Labs. Okay, this IC invented by J.S. Kilby. J.S. Kilby. Okay, so IC is one of the revolution of third generations of computers. Okay, it takes good input and provides the better output. The memory of third generation computer is magnetic core. Magnetic core is going to be act as a primary storage medium. Okay, so it is smaller size and provides better performance and increase the speed. Okay, here there are some high level programming languages are used to write various applications. Okay, like B language, CPL language, and basic language used. Okay, third generation computers allows assembly of electronic components. Different kind of devices we can assemble easily. Okay, and the speed is in the form of the microseconds converted into nanoseconds, like 1 by 10 power 9 of second. Okay, the applications of third generation computers are airline reservation system, and market processing, and it can also used in credit card billing. Okay, these all are comes under applications of third generation. So IBM 360 and NCR 365 are examples of third generation computers. Fourth generation computer. The period of fourth generation computers are from 1975 to 1989. Okay, in this technology microprocessors used. This one we can also call it as VLSI, very large scale semiconductor integrated circuit. Very large semiconductor integrated circuit. That means 1 VLSI equivalent to thousands of ICs approximately. Okay, because of this, the size is completely reduced. It gives better performance and the speed is ultimately increased 1 by 10 power 12 per second. Okay, and increased storage capacity, magnetic disks as well as magnetic tapes both used for primary storage and some secondary storage. Okay, in this fourth generation there is a good coordination between input and output devices. That means good versatility of input and output devices. Okay, with the help of this fourth generations, there are set of microprocessors are developed as well as microcomputers are developed. Okay, the cost is also very less. Cost is also very less comparing to the previous generations. Okay, the applications of fourth generation computers are electronic fund transfer, computer aided instructions, okay, modeling and simulation, modeling and simulations. So these are the applications of four generations of computers. So here IBM PC XT, Apple II, Honeywell 6080, everything is comes under fourth generations of computers. Okay, so fourth generation of computers are much better than third generations of computers, right? Fifth generations of computers. Fifth generation of computers. The fifth generations of computers from 1980 to present and future also. Okay, so in this fifth generation computers, nano chips, okay, mega chips, that means SLSI technology, means super large scale integrated chip, super large scale integrated chip, okay, and parallel processing, artificial intelligence, so this is the technology of fifth generation of computers. So nowadays we are using Googles and robotics, and various artificial intelligent devices like fridges, washing machines. Not only those, we are using robots for the cleaning. Okay, so there are a lot of changes happened in the each and every generations, right?